glad you can join us today for another round of Motorsport Manager. I'll be honest, it's been a while since we last got into Motorsport Manager, and I am absolutely sure how to play, if I know still how to play the game anywhere anymore. Was the last time? Was it March? No, probably May at least. But it has been quite a while. Totally forgot a lot of how things have gone through here, actually, since we've been running pretty long with this particular career. Long, in fact, that I think most of our drivers are already on the verge of retiring from last time I was checking. Bit of a recap. Last time we actually failed to get a win in Milan because we made a mistake in the pits, mostly because of the weather. Now we are down to third and fourth for both of our drivers. We're only at 4 and 3 points. I forgot this is a top six only points game now because of changes in the rules like 2 seasons ago. Did vote for other changes, at least from what I remember. We got additional Cape Town. Cape Town was approved with one vote on. No, this is energy recovery systems have now been banned, which means the ERS will now be out of the running, and we will all be back to standard racing next season. No more worrying about electro boosts and all that. Hopefully. Now, gearboxes have unfortunately been added back into the development line, which means we're going to have to worry about double parts now. Not too on that because we don't have a lot of gearbox setups on that. And upcoming in the next 3 weeks will be a vote on sequential pit stops. We're going to, it's possible, if we agree to this, it's possible that we'll have less to worry about in terms of paying people. Unfortunately, that's going to take a while for everybody to get out of the pits. And since we've got terrible, terrible stats in terms of pit stop crews, I don't think this will be beneficial for us. Even though, even with the large pit crew, we're still having trouble getting the car out of the lane quickly enough. So I think I'm just going to vote against this. I do have an extra voting power, though. Fortunately, the season is down to its last 3 races, which will have an extra one after this one. Be a 13 season race next year. Got something on development. Staff Center is currently upgrading. Will be finished in staff grading is still up. I have no idea. I forgot how to check the dates on this one. Performance is still awful. I don't think I want to design any new parts anymore since this is the last 3 races and I want to save that money for next season. Our sponsors are still pretty decent, thankfully. Our fixed payment sponsors are still doing us some good, although, yeah, the Bolitas is an upfront payer and they don't have any extra stuff to pay for us. They're still going to be with us for 7 races, unfortunately, so we can't really get rid of them anymore. Well, George is still there at 6. Thankfully, they have a 700 or 300,000 euro pay per season or per race rather. We haven't been able to get any of these bonuses in a while. Well, I think we got Vamoose. Anyway, let's move on or double check everything else. Everything still seems to be okay. Income is at 92,000, thankfully, so that's making us some money. I'm still looking at some of these drivers to hire for next season. I think Boris Vishovsky seems like a good spot. Of course, staff. I think, well, the problem is Perez still has a few bonuses like her pay driver ability. She's also a mentor, which means Jurovic actually gets some bonuses from her. So does Ariel Leonet. I want to keep Ariole in it still, so I'm gonna note her up for re-signing. Perez might have to retire though, as she is already at the peak of her condition. Well, so her stats are still at peaking, but even in that case, most of her stats have been going down for quite a while now, and that's kind of annoying. Also, her marketability is still pretty high though, so I think things go, uh, if things have to go up, we might have to keep her through to the next season at the very least. And she's got the better marketability of the two lead drivers. Leonet has problems with her own marketability at this point. Problem with that. Thankfully, our team marketability is still going high, but we definitely need to get some more wins so that we can increase that back up to 80 or something. Hit crew staff, we've got it auto managed, but not exactly getting high on that part. It's Jessica Legg's job after all, and her pit stop rating is very low at 6. Nakanab is also at 6, but I don't think he'd like to. Wait, no, he's still at 26 though. Fortunately, his skills have peaked off, but we can still keep him on because I like his sweetest spots abilities, just in case we have to get something for that if we ever get promoted. I'm actually not looking to get promoted next season, even though we're sitting at the top of the table for now as far as points are concerned. The car repair is complete. Let's see if we can do any parts improvements. No. They're illegal parts for next season. Well, I can't build anything else. I think they're already pretty good as it is. Or as they are, rather. But I could probably build another engine. I don't know. Next race in 17 days. Maybe I could benefit from getting another engine. Maybe. Unfortunately, they don't seem to provide some good spots. There's rate stripping. This is new. I don't remember seeing it before. We could go for good reliability. I don't need these top speed to max bonuses. Oh, we cut down on the reliability there. It's gonna be built one day after the race. Too late for anything. Maybe not. Let's save up for next season then. I think we can still do things overall, even though Vixala is now on top. The rating doesn't really matter much because Firebird is still on top as far as drivers are concerned. They're getting really close to beating both us and Vexala to the top of the team standings. That's what I need to be more worried about. Now, I'm definitely in the need to getting the staff center up to level 3 because we need to get Jessica up in the skill sets. And without a boost to staff center bonuses, she won't be able to make the most out of her bonus of her skills here. We're now climbing up to nearly 5 points on the stab bar. So, I'm not too sure if I want to keep Charlotte Williams for another season, to be honest. But she offers some pretty cheap coverage for everybody on the parts list. So that should be it. I mean, sure, maybe we can build an engine part, but it's only the last 3 seasons, and we can't really bring that to the next season anyway. So I think I'm just gonna stick with this. Helipad. Oh, just reminder, currently in first, better than our original target of third. We're not jumping ahead of third for the next one as well because I'm definitely sure we're not gonna make it first. It's 26 laps. Hopefully, we can do this in one stop, just like we always do. The problem is going to be rainy, so there's definitely a need for 2 stops. Everything is spec, thankfully. Going for soft and medium, so we're going for the slowest wheels first, and then we'll go with soft on the last one, as is the usual. So let's throw a party. Good thing we have the resources for that, and since there's a financial background payment discount, 5,000 euros to pay. Here we are. The vote will be coming in after this race, unfortunately. Yeah, next week after this one. Exala are expected to perform well as is the usual. Ganser is not feeling the pressure. Well, he has to be. Come on, look at that. Look at how close Carlson is. 6 points. Well, Jurovic and Perez might be a little further. I think there's still a good chance we can catch up to him as long as we take advantage of the weather here. So, here they go again. I hate it when they say that we're gonna struggle for a weekend. Because 80% of the time, it's not how it happens. But we'll see. It has been a while since I managed this team, so it will be very, very difficult to disprove that prediction. I'm just worried that we might have to restart this run, or this stage at least. Save here just in case. Alright, let's get into the fight of things. Cupcake provides us a 1.5 million euro boost, but we need to be first. Vamoose provides us with some more leg room, third or above, and you get 1.2. Then there's Golden Tiger, that's the most lenient, but has a really bad bonus point of 1,000. Let's go and risk it. I want to get some more money for next season. Thankfully, both of our drivers seem to be happy with the parts they have. That's good. Jurovic does have a bit of a problem with hers because it's fairly low key. Hopefully, we manage to keep that up next run. Go ahead and go to the Black Sea. It's a long one, but we definitely need medium wheels for this one. As is the usual, we're going to improve the spec of the medium wheels. Let's hope the weather is going to be clear so that we don't have to switch to wets for this one. Well, it does look like it's going to be dry for at least the first half of practice, so both in medium, it's going to be mostly for acceleration. Stiffness, keep mediums, and go. Some short let and it will also have soft suspension, and then go for mediums again. Fortunately, it doesn't look like we can survive that. Well, she gets one extra run on practice at least. Keep it at either 6 red, so let's go to 8 laps. Our choices are the same. Suncho Leonet, Arila Leonet rather. Have to go for 4 laps. Let's go ahead and see if this does any good for us. I'm worried about that cloudiness at 6 minutes though. Oh, speaking of which, did you see the, did any of y'all see the, news update related to Motorsport Manager? Apparently, Sport Games has been building up stuff for a release of a proper Motorsport Manager 2 sequel coming out next year. The good thing about that is that it apparently is not just going to be the usual open wheel GT and Enduro Cup racing, because if the preview is anything to go by, they might be adding other racing categories. So I'm expecting something like Formula E, maybe, or something close to that, and then hybrid cars. I don't know. It's very nice because it seems like it's going to be offering a new set of. They're going to be offering actual new models like post 2018 style cars with halos and all that, at least for the open wheels. and there might be some newer rules up in effect. Although there's the possibility that it's going to be following F1 rules with mandatory energy recovery systems and mandatory energy recovery systems and some of the ERS things that they're happening to use in modern F1, so that's something to look forward to. I'm not really a fan of the ERS and DRS things. I'm much more into raw driving skill, just like it's not awful. Just like the old days, probably for the very Halo revenue. But I am interested in what mechanics they will add to the new Motorsport Manager next season, or next year. Because there's a lot of room for improvement in this game, and I hope they make the most out of that. That also good. Alright, we'll bring him in after the first half. It's gonna be really wet though. Alright, let's wait until the wetness comes in, and then we'll switch over. I want them to at least get wet medium tires to level 2. Oh, it's race trim. But they have some problems with handling, apparently. That's something to double check. Bitovic up to the 4th, Arielin at the 3rd. Carlson is on lead, Pichani at 2nd. Gansler, who's currently on top, is at 6th. Soft, but I think they're holding off on that, or holding back a lot for the practice run. They're gonna get really rainy around the 5th minute. Then I'm gonna bring Jurovic in first. Or we can probably get to level 3, maybe? Right, here comes the rain, scatter. Oh, they're already coming in quickly. Jurovic will have to wait until Ariolena has switched out her tires, then that goes out on inters. I think I'm gonna stick to inters maybe. There we go. Medium tires now at level 3. That should be good. Handling is poor. Is it too soft? I guess it is too soft. So tire pressure somewhat. Switch over to inters, and then away we go. Kudovic will be coming in after this lap. Right, she is in lap. She's currently at 4th. We got the medium tires on level 3, so that should be good once we go straight into the fight itself. And with driving race trim at level 3, no need to worry much about boosting the performance there. It's the wet weather that I'm worried about. Perez might not have some issues with that because she is a wet weather pro. Her downforce needs to work. Too much downforce, it looks like. Toughen up the handling of the car. Switch over to inters. All the other drivers outside are still using medium, but they're coming in now. What if we can get inters at least level 1? Well, it's not like we're gonna be using it because we need to get race trim and mediums first. So Riolena currently at the top. Okay, handling seems to be better now. I don't know how that's gonna translate in the actual race. Pichani and Carlson still pretty close. Riolena still doing decently on top. Oh, good jump there. Riolena gets her personal best up to 1 minute 17.794. And Jurovic seems to be happy with her arrows now. Intermediates are now at level 1. We still got one more run for both of our drivers as practice has just ended. Road is now very, very soaked. These injuries would have been useless in an actual race then. Let's see how Druidfish fares for this last run. What do you land? Gets another jump. Oh, couldn't get that to go. Now, her best run is now 117.94, and Druidfish sticks at 4 with 126.97. Druidfish's best run was with mediums at 1 minute 18.34. Well, Simpson Ariolene stuck it up at 1 minute 17.79 with her well. As they're holding back things at 1 minute 18, sixth place, while Jenny, who's currently running up second, is at 1 minute 18.25. For Nick Chu, back there in the bottom, for Silva with 1 minute 20. Old time veteran Jennifer Concliffe is down at 18. Well, Bunker having a bit of a better run this time, sticking at 16th with 19. So chuffed. So chuffed for what's in the streets today. I'm glad that you're chuffed. I'm very, very nervous because usually when you perform well in practice, or at least when my team performs well in practice, they suffer significantly in the race itself. So we're gonna try as much as possible to make this a one-stop race, unless it starts raining. In that case, we'll have to balance things out with that. Drivers, more like driver. Drudovic is at 4th. Alright, it's a wet race it's a wet start to the race right now, and things will be soaked for a bit. You're really, really wet. Hopefully that means we only need to do one stop. Nope, we're not going for super overtake mode, sorry. Stop through and race trim. Of course, the handling's still off. Do you want to change it? Maybe not. Tire options, fuel options. People say, like, the last time we played this, we actually did some refueling drops to make the car lighter, but I'm still not convinced it's actually doing anything properly. Let me double check if opinions have changed. Very not convinced about this. Let's see here. Maybe just 2 laps of fuel down. Still need to push them a bit later. And for res, also 2 laps of fuel down. Driving style neutral, engine mode neutral. Gonna be a bit wet out there. Actually, how about we go for high, fill the fuel up, and let them handle things their own way? Because I feel like energy conservation mode is the thing, right? So I think just go and start the race at this rate. Funker and Chu having some problems from the start means that they're up front. It's of a fall from grace for veterans like Ramsey and Concliffe here. But Devorani Neto, another former adversary of ours. Eligard is at 16th. There's Gansler and Carlson. Jeremy. Jeremy is currently at 14th, actually. Alright, lights out and away we go! Ooh, bad acceleration from Jodovic out there on the ramp. And things are getting real wet here in the Black Sea. Looks like Gansler is already climbing up the ranks. Oh, never mind. Gansler is now 19th again. Jodovic and Perez stuck at 16th and 17th. A bit of trouble getting past everybody else who's probably going at super driving mode. Going to overtake mode, actually. Jodovic drops down a bit. Might have to push the tires a bit more just to make them a bit hotter. It is at 16th, Jodovic at 19th. A bit of traffic up front. Bunker Chu and Mazzoncini still at inters and still on top. Gansler not climbing up the ranks. Jodovic trying to keep him away. Having a bit of trouble on the last hairpin before the home stretch, and Bunker gets a boost up. Just a bit going to use energy overtake mode. Then let's go for auto on. Let them handle it now. As Jodovic once again takes over Gansler's spot for 18th this time. You can see the differences in ERS here because a lot of these guys still have their ERS on, but that's mostly because they start with full battery charges but very, very bad energy recovery, which can be a problem for long-term races. Speaking of a problem, here's Jodovic now fighting with Cardenas for 17th rather. Having a bit of a fight on that right corner. Coming into the underpass. Jodovic goes down to 18th, climbs up to 16th because of all the slowdowns in traffic, and she is now a bit of Perez at 16th here. Very, very impressive driving from both of our drivers, and 24 laps remain. Now Perez is down to 18th after Cardenas gets ahead of her. Or both of them seem to be having a really fun time driving through most of the heavy stuff on the chicanes here. Coming up with a shot right hairpin. Perez once again jumps up, and she's now in 50th. Jodovic goes down to 18th, surprisingly. Perez now blocked by Eligard. And having some trouble on that right-hander. Getting some space. Jodovic tries to come in. Inside overtakes, climbs up to 17th. Good white cut for Concliffe, who's now opening up defensive spacing there. Cardenas climbs ahead of Jodovic again before the home corner. 23 laps to go on the start of lap 4. We've seen some guys jump in already. Funker and Chu already in the pit lane. So is Mazzoncini. The race leaders have now gone into the pit lane rather early. Surprisingly, in fact. It's time to lower down the tire modes a bit. Everybody else still in super overtake mode, using their ERS to conserve on the wheels, or the fuel rather. Now Perez at 12, Jodovic still stuck at 16. But can she get past Etienne to go to 15? No, she cannot. Wait, hold on. Jumping ahead. Now, keeping Etienne below her. Gansler also snatching 16th for that one. And Cardenas is still ahead of her. Concliffe climbing up to 13th. Eligard is now up to 11th. Up front, it's Lormore, Ramsey, and Devorani Neto. It's going to be a bit of a tough fight to stay there, as we are only on halfway through the 4th. Coming down the overpass, the other pass. It is now running things. Perez coming up 12. Having a bit of trouble getting past Eligard, who's now opened up some space. Ooh, getting some good overtakes there. Accelerating straight off the bat right after the home corner, or the home turn. Almost losing it at the first corner. Jodovic still at 15th and having trouble getting out of that. Might have to push the tires a bit again. Water on the track, still on high. Probably switch out. around halfway through, doing our one-stop race again. Now, Perez gets left behind. She is now down to 12th again. And now Concliffe, taking advantage of that, comes in for a very brave outside overtake. And now it's wheel to wheel between Concliffe and Perez. Let's see if Perez can push her away and allow her to go into 11th again. At the home hairpin. Perez making space for Concliffe. Ellegard still ahead of her, though. And now there's Beyond pushing up very quickly. Judovic still stuck in 16th. Perez just about lost her 12th place to Concliffe this time. Once again, snatching 12th just before the sharp hairpin. Sharp hairpin at the bottom of that run. Perez going for ERS over here on this approach to the underpass, and she is now at 11th. She can't hold it on for long as Ellegard once again grinds back to dust. We might have to push the tires a bit more now. It's starting to get really cold. 56% left, and we're still at lap 6. We still need a bit more to go. Probably until at least lap 13? 20 laps to go, and Perez drops down to 13th as Gansler gets ahead of her this time. Tire wear is starting to be a real issue for both of our drivers now. Perez, even with the ERS, both of our drivers, even with the ERS, can't get past their particular front runners. 50% on the tires now. I don't know if Perez can handle this. It's Lorimer, Ramsey, and Beyond now. Devorani Neto goes down to 4th with Glidden in 5th, Hornbland at 6th, Carlson at 7th, Silva and Melo at 8th. In the mid-pack, Howe and Pichani switches roles. Gansler now climbing up to 11th, getting over Ellegard, and in a good spot to get into the upper half of the race. Judovic having trouble getting past Concliffe now, and it's pretty much without much of energy to go. Trying to stay in 13th at the very least. Judovic going down to 60s again, just for the start end line. Very much tight traffic out here. They can't really take advantage of their cornering here. And Gandler is poised to get past Ellegard here. His teammate, Ellegard, by the way. Judovic about to go down to 16th, or the 17th rather, with Etienne just sneaking behind her. Perez trying to get past Concliffe, not exactly succeeding on that right-hander, now approaching the long right into the snaking roads, and then approaching the home hairpin again, but now she's down to 14th as Concliffe gets ahead of her. Using the momentum of the RS to try to get back into things, climbing to 12th, but she can't really do much. With Gansler trying to, couldn't get past Gansler, who's trying to go into energy saver mode, it looks like. Nope, no inters. We'll wait until we can switch out. Perez now up to 12. I think what we should do is conserve. That's Perez coming up to 12. Judovic using her ES to get past Cardenas, but failing to get ahead of Concliffe. That's Howe going for a pit lane. 17 laps to go. Tires are now down to 29 and 37 respectively. Perez might have gotten a little too... might have given Perez a little too much leeway. And she is now down to 27th. If that's... no, that's Ellegard going for a ERS overtake here. Yep, Perez now down to 12th. Judovic at 13, surprisingly. Everybody else is starting to get some really fancy runnings there. I might have to put Judovic in for an or probably medium option. Let's get a 16th. Parts are still pretty okay, thankfully. That balanced for the time being. Here comes Judovic. We might have to push her tires a bit more now. They're getting really wet. She's got 8 laps of fuel left in the tank, but we still got 16 laps of driving to go. Let's see if she can make some space here for herself. One more up ahead. Perez now down on the wire here. That excess fuel isn't really going to do much to keep it a fuel burn medium. Now, 4 more up ahead. Some of the drivers have switched to inters still, despite the fact that it's going to be dry for the rest of the race, it looks like. Keep me in a decent spot for now. She's already going down on her survivability here. Oh, we have to push the tires a bit more now. Hit her at the end of lap 12? Hit her at the end of lap 12. It's a bit early, but I'm very certain she'll be able to survive this. Laps. 6 and 9. 10 laps. Gonna be 16 seconds on the pit straight. Oh. Yeah, she's gonna lose to Lormore, unfortunately. Perez is now down to 13th. Lormore is now. No, it's Difforani Neto at first, actually, now. Lormore gonna be real close. Could a fish at least give some space up here? We're off target now. Perez goes up to 12. Judovic dropping down significantly now. I'm hoping that they can use their ERS properly so they can get some speed up. With Judovic down 19 to Perez at 12, it's going to be a bit of a tough race to get over there. We're relying on their tires to last long enough to keep them alive. So I think I'm going to go for conserve in high. Hopefully the ERS should be enough to keep them on the push without much of fuel to work with. Now up on top of Neto and Power enters. Probably switching over to a run. Oh, not switching out yet. Perez going for ERS overtake to get back up on the upper half. With Funker and Carlson blocks away. Judovic still stuck out there. Ooh, Perez coming up to 11th, getting past Funker on that one. Carlson's out there. Where's Genser? Genser at 8th with his soft tire going. Tire durability, a bit of a problem here. The rest of the crew. It's imperative that we go to 6th place before things get a bit hot. Because otherwise, we won't be able to do anything. We won't be able to get any score or any points for this leg. 12 laps to go. Started lap 15th, and both of our drivers are still pretty bad on the lower half. Judovic finally gets past 1 and climbs up to 18th, but definitely had a lot of work cut out for her, as she's got a lot of faster drivers ahead of her now. Perez getting a personal best on that last run. Tires are getting too cold for both of our drivers now. I have to push the tires a bit for Judovic because the rating is too much. Still a bit damp on the road for everybody else, but Caporani Neto has finally decided to go for a pit change. At the start of lap 16, 11 laps to go. Perez has gone up to 9th. Judovic has gone up to 15th. As all the other drivers who went for their softs have switched out for mediums. I might have to restart this. Cans are still up on 5th, but he's now at 50% tires. Everybody on front still has the possibility to just stick around. You have to make some time here. 60%, 10 laps to go. I don't think we're going to be able to get anything. We might have to restart this stage. But that's okay. I'm still relearning a lot of things here after all. Can't wait to get rid of ERS, to be honest. Too much energy, not enough skill. And again, there's a bit of how shall we say this? A bit of an inequality problem here because everybody is using the same ERS configuration, which provides some variety to races, but the problem is some of the poorer teams can't get the best out of their ERS pushing. So unless they can actually work on that, they won't be able to get any decent runs on the races at all. Ooh, Perez! A bit of a bump there. Could have gone even further into the overtake. But Ramsey was blocking the road. And the conflict is going for a pit lane change. Just 9 laps before the end of the race here. Let's see if Perez can make something out of that. Gansler is now in 5th, Bian and Vijani using the ERS to stay as far away from everybody else as possible. 8 laps to go. Start of lap 19. Perez has climbed up to 17, to 7th place. Vidovic is at 14th. She's still struggling. Only 40% on the tires. I don't think she's going to be able to do anything. That's Carlson going in for a pit change. I think I might, to be honest. How about Gansler? Gansler going steady out there. Okay, let's go and risk it. If we don't get anything out of this, I'm just gonna... I'm just gonna restart the race just in case. No need to change the fuel, to be honest. Keep it like this. Cars are very slow. Couldn't get past Channy on the out lane. Trudovic is now in 9th, using the ERS as much as possible to get ahead. Ellegard is blocking her significantly, and that's kind of annoying. Gansler slid 4th, now looking for a pit change, but with Ellegard blocking our way, it's going really difficult getting past everybody. That's Ellegard and Gansler going for an overtake. Come on. We couldn't get back Gansler. Wait, we can. Gansler is now a pretty low number. Oh, it's only Trudovic who's still on the points bar. But we need to hold our position here. Trudovic is at 6th, but she's only got 1 point. Perez is at 9th. But she has a chance to actually get into the scoreboards, and we can get some points over everybody else. Gansler, though, is still pretty high at 47, so we might have to let go of the driver championship. But if we can get some scores here, there's a good chance we might be able to. Goodrich now at 3rd, but unfortunately she's down to 38% on her tires. We still got 4 laps to go. Can she conserve her tires long enough to stay in the race? Perez now fighting for 6th here, as she is stuck behind Channy. Gansler up to 10th. He might be able to get back in the mid-race here if he somehow gets past Carlson, or how. With Perez right there at 7th. It's very, very close. Now complaining about her tires. She's down to 33. Going to be really risky getting through here. More still on top, but he's got some tire issues too. I'm trying to be safe with Perez here by keeping her tires at a decent pace and keeping her at decent speed, but now having trouble getting to 6, she might have issues getting into the scoreboard. Carlson on top, still at second, but if Judovic can keep her spots here in at second here, tires are wearing down. I don't think she can. Now here's the dilemma. Devorani Neto is right behind her. She's down to 25%. We still got 4 laps to go. Fuel isn't an issue, but our pit crews aren't exactly the best when it comes to driving, so there's very, very little chance of them getting over here. We could probably... We can sacrifice Strudovic's second place and get her into fights, but I don't think that's gonna work. So let's keep her on the top spot for now. I think she's gonna be okay. Judovic down 3 laps to go, and Judovic is down. Judovic is down 23. Need her to be using her ERS on the straights because the tires are now really, really bad. Perez down to 8th as Gather gets ahead of her again. Dang it. Very good chance I might have to restart this. 2 more laps to go. Judovic is still on top. Much to go. This is going to be a nail biter. Perez can handle things over there for all I care. I just need Judovic to be on top until the end of the race. 2 more laps to go. Come on, Judovic. Lormore just sneaking there, just 0.3 of a second behind. This is not good. We're just using the whatever ERS we can gather to get Judovic away from Lormore as much as possible. It's going to be 1 more corner here. And then it's going to be the final lap. Can she gather enough energy to stay in the race? She's now down in 9th. Oh no, Lormore with the ERS. Come on, Judovic, defensive driving. No, Judovic goes down to 2nd. Fighting from that corner, Judovic grabs up the 1st, but Lormore has the better tires. Can Judovic survive with 5% on the tire remaining? We hit the ERS a little too early. Lormore is gonna get this. Judovic needs to survive to at least get over on top. Come on! Judovic, no! I'm gonna have to restart this. Dang it. The weather really ruined things up for me. Because we started in the wets, and we stayed a little too long. If we didn't start with the wets, we would have had a better chance of actually staying at it and doing it one stop as the usual. I can't wait for that ERS setup to disappear, though, even though it does give us a bit of a lifeline in really close situations like that. But if the other drivers can get a gap growth at the end of lap 1 just by using their ERS energy, I'd have a bit of a problem with that. Okay, we're sticking with Vamoose. Same parts in track A, apparently. Great if it's gonna be a mandatory thing in Motorsport Manager 2, though. Definitely some stiffer handling is involved. More balances. Let's keep it at mediums. I want endurance over speed. Two. It's a practice. That's right, it's gonna be only one race for today, as is the usual. First half is again gonna be dry, it looks like. I expect things to be a bit wetter after that. Cloudy around the 6-minute mark. Rather than inters, let's go for wets. If not, it's not gonna work anyway. Tire grip still pretty high around the 6-minute mark. Good. Suspension struggling levels tight. Hit a little too tight then? I'll probably go too soft. No, it is too tight. What? Dude, the suspension is very stiff. What the heck are you talking about? It's still gonna be wet after the 6-minute mark, as is usual. Seems to be decent. It's just the suspension that's an issue. Okay, never mind. Judovic is complaining about acceleration as well. Not a good sign there. Yeah, and on top, surprisingly. Real wet after these minutes. For steering, so Ariolena needs a little more top speed. Judovic needs a bit more acceleration. Wait, no, top speed is quick, longer run, so they both need acceleration for driving. Okay, that's what Ariolena done with her stint. She's coming in for a wet run. What do we want? What if Motorsport Manager 2 will allow you to have closer camera shots than this? I think the setup, even for the other camera mode for this one in the base game, is actually still pretty far. It would be really nice to see having a camera view without the need for mods at a very low pace. So a bit more acceleration, a bit more stiffen the handling? That's maximum stiffness. Let's see, maximum stiffness, and then they'll complain that it's a little too hard. One of the things I hate about the feedback system in this game is that it does have some problems with unit or driver feedback, because sometimes, even when you do what they want, it will come back to you one lap later and say that you made it wrong and you should be doing it the other way around. Kind of annoying, to be honest. So no more light wheels, or no more under fuel. It's kind of annoying. Hand or balance fuel when you just go and keep it at push. Speed health very poor. 2 minutes remaining in practice. Harder. Voice interface. Let's go. Very interesting. Couple of seconds, still checking some. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. A while to get out of that. Last 2 minutes to go. Which might only be able to do one stint with the new setup. Leolina snacks up at 5th. What? Look at this! See why I hate how they ask things out here? You want the handling to be stiffer, and then when you try to switch it to have maximum stiffness, to have some stiffness, they'll say it's a little too stiff. Or whatever. We'll have to do it live then. Balance is just okay. Kind of a shame we can't load from other runs. Okay. Earlier, see if they'll be able to get that out in time. 30 seconds left. She's on the out lap already. Won't be able to do about that. Yeah, whatever. That's gonna have to restart that. Hope we do it live. Rubbish. And Shandy and Hornblood. That was okay-ish. Okay-ish is an understatement. And as expected, it's gonna be a wet run. Looks like it has been hard-coded to be a wet start. Fine, let's just go for racing and tires rather than having fuel setups there. Understeer is. Tell me they want to be oversteer instead. Very likely. Arrow's a bit too weird. This is okay arrow. This is good arrow. This is okay arrow. So it probably needs. Now it should be focused more on speed. It's okay-ish. It's very poor. Oh, come on! I hate misclicking like that. So it's going to be less downforce. Softer suspension, because for some reason that's how it works. Keep the speed balance as is. That's no need to change the fuel. We're going to be driving in hard mode anyway. Okay, I'll keep the handling like this. So it's going to be high engine mode. Driving is going to be neutral. I don't care if it gets cold. Let's out and away we go, and that's a really bad start from Judovic, who got blocked by Carlson out there. Oh, somebody ran wide. Mazzoncini ran wide. She is now down at 10th. Yeah, she is now down at 10th. A bit of a mismatch on that first corner there. Perez trying to take advantage of that, jumping up to 11th rather quickly. Judovic stuck in 19th because of the rear pack traffic. Now Perez struggling to stay up there after her own traffic flows have caught up to her. Things don't seem to be looking too hot for our drivers, however. Too much traffic in the wets here. That's Mazzoncini climbing up on the rank. She's now up to 12. Oh, climbing up to 9th, actually. Perez going into 13th. Bunker up top. Shoot. Mazzoncini having a hard time getting back into things, but she's now 8th. You kind of forgot the ERS out there. Now Perez is trying to stay in the upper half of the mid-pack. Struggling, and she's now down 15th. Judovic is at 20th. Mazzoncini has returned to the mid-pack there. We're returning to the 3rd spot there, mostly because it's not that wet yet. Things will change around the 4th lap, as is the usual. This tire set up a bit more and then drop it once it reaches the first box. 24 laps to go. Both of our drivers still in the lower end. And the extra fuel, the extra full tank on the fuel did dampen the performance a bit, but it's better than actually wasting time trying to manage an underfilled tank. Since I just wanted to push. And reliability is not much of an issue right now, thanks to the fact that most of our parts are in max reliability. Hang on a second. Yep, sorry about that. Anyway, back to the fight. Perez now blocked by both Osu drivers, and Champion at the end now fighting for 13th. Poor conflict getting caught in the crossfire in the process. Bit of a fight, climbs up to 19th. Here's the Inter driver switching over to switching over to the wets at the start of lap 4. Perez couldn't take advantage of that, and she's now down to 13th. Judovic, meanwhile, has climbed up to 16th, getting ahead of Ellegard. Now it's only Ganser between her and 14th spot. It is now looking dangerously close to being overtaken by Cardenas. Judovic climbs up to 15th spot. Getting ahead of both Firebird drivers here. And now Perez is having trouble with Howe. And Judovic still having trouble with Cardenas. Oh! Getting a snap outside overtake on that right-hander. Approaching the home hairpin. Looks like both of my drivers now wheel to wheel at the start of lap 22. Rain is letting up, but the roads are still very wet, and we're not going to be switching out until at least lap 13 because I want to keep our tires in workable state. Now that's Perez and Judovic switching spots just before the sharp hairpin. Judovic drops down to 14, getting overtaken by an ERS-powered Howe, or in our ERS-powered Ganser now. There's Cardenas closing in as well. Perez trying desperately to make some space for herself. Now we're going to relax the tires a bit because we've already reached the top of the first box. Start at lap 21, Carlson, Ramsey, and Dvorani Neto once again on top. One more sneaking in with just a 4-second gap between her and Carlson. Yeah, it is a curve. Judovic now struggling to keep Ellegard away. As Gansler is now sneaking up on Perez. A little more pushing, and he might be able to get an overtake here. Looks like the mid-pack traffic caused by the rain is making it much easier for him to get close. Perez, however, managed to get an escape from that on that sharp overtake. And she's using her ERS to get as far away from Gansler as possible, but traffic is not free with her. Perez about to lose her 13th spot to Howe again. Vidovic using ERS to get past everybody, and she is back to 15. Now she complaining about struggling to overtake her teammate. Now 20 laps to go, start of lap 7. Both of our drivers still in the lower end of the mid-pack. Devorani Neto has snatched second place from Ramsey. And Lormore has just taken over third place this time. Coming into sharp hairpin number 2. Well, there's number 3, number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perez couldn't get past Cardenas, who has now overtaken her. Here comes Elegard and Ramsey. And Ramsey pushing on through, or rather Gansler. On through, he is now 14th. 19 laps to go. Things aren't looking too hot for both of our drivers. They're complaining about the heat. It's only 8 laps. We still have 5 laps to deal with this. Why is she complaining? We're already pushed our tires to higher spots. Now down to 16th, Perez at 15th. Gansler still holding on to that 14th spot after the 7th corner. Now coming into the left-hander into the underpass. Vidovic dropped to 17th as Elegard gets ahead of her. Elegard now getting ahead of his teammate as well, and he's up to 20th. Carlson, Devorani Neto, and Lormore now fighting for first. 18 laps to go, and there's still a bit of traffic here in the mid-pack, or lower mid-pack rather. Back ahead of Perez. Perez gets run over Gansler. Can she keep it into the number 4 and number 5 corner? A bit of space there. Coming into sharp number 6. Whoa! Judovic with a really brave late game corner break there. Getting past Gansler and now shrinking to take over Perez's spot. Nope, let's not go into inters. Let's stay at wets for now. I want to stay in these tires for as long as possible so that we don't have to double change. And now that's Judovic and Perez pushing in, trying to get into things before the start of lap 10. Perez and Judovic at 11th and 12th. Probably not going to have things for long. All the other drivers have stayed in wets. We're going to have 4 drivers in inters, but let's admit Perez is now looking at tire wear. Drop her down a bit more. Oof, that's Cardenas with the ERS overtake. Perez wisely blocking him as well as working with Judovic to keep her from overtaking from the outside. Coming into the last long turn before last long S4, the home hairpin at the start of lap 16, and we're seeing some pit crew changes now. All of them probably switching over to something much more decent. Yep, they're going for softs this time. Gonna keep both of our drivers still on the road for a bit more. Judovic could probably last at least until lap 13. Perez will switch out after lap 12, or after this lap maybe. Well, lap 12 it is. Carlson is now switched out. Unfortunately, Judovic has been overtaken by Davorani Neto. Not this one. There. Laps for that. Don't need to worry about parts conditions. Strategy. Risking a fast one. Fish now down to 4th because of Carlson. Hornblatt is just around the corner. Oop, there's Carlson with the overtake. Now Perez is down to 3rd. Drivers now at red. Let's see if we can keep Judovic for one more lap here. Gonna risk it all for this one. 20% left. I'm betting on Jurovic's tire smoothness. Keep her in for at least one more lap. Right, here we go. Switching over to BGMs. Not good. Pit conditions are okay. Pit strategy. Fast for now. See if we don't have any errors from that. Okay, no errors so far, so let's go ahead. Fortunately, with that, Perez has now dropped 15th, maybe even 16th. 17th? No, 18th. No, 20th. Getting left behind. Save it up. Judovic will have to sacrifice some places here. But as long as these other guys will have to hit out themselves, I think we have a good chance of staying within the good graces of the sponsors. 13 laps to go. Judovic comes in for a tire change. Let's hope we don't have any errors. There's no errors. It's just the refueling that's in a problem. Now 19th and 20th for both of our drivers. See if they can actually get something out of this. Davorani Neto is still on lead, but she's about to switch out soon as the road situation is about to get really dry. Hornblatt, Poncliffe, the Silva Mello, Madalcini, and Chu also might be looking at switching out. But they're still having trouble dealing with Bunker. Perez has gone up to 17th. As 11 laps are ready to go. Fortunately, that didn't give us enough space to get into things. 10 more laps to go. Not looking too hot. Carlson, Pichendi, and Elegard still on front. Ramsey and Glidden also up there. Answer is mid-pack at 10th. Nine laps to go. Can we at least make some laps here? At least points. I just need points. I'm gonna take advantage of that one. 8 laps to go, and both of our drivers are still on the lower end. Oh, the tires are about to go as well. At least for Perez. I'll push her up a bit. 6 or 7 laps to go, rather. Too far to take advantage of those. Ooh! Britain's now 9. Judovic is at 12th. They're currently in the mid-pack, but they're still not able to get any points out. Now to push Judovic on the tires as well. Laps to go, and both of our drivers are still pretty bad. Perez is now in a point system. She's the only one with points so far. Judovic needs to get up there. We need some more speed so we can get into the sponsor lead. Or the sponsor box, rather. I don't think we're gonna get it. Unless, by some lucky break, some of the other drivers go out on a pit stop. Again. Oh! Carlson is now on top. Perez will lose her 5th place here to Tammy, however. Need to get... We need Judovic in the box as well. Firebird now at 71, closing in on our spot. Osu is up 4th, but that's going to be just for their points. They won't be able to get back into the winner's circle because there's only 3 races left, unless they somehow catch a win in all 3. Judovic, come on, man. Perez is now at 24% on her tires. We won't be able to get anything out of this. 3 laps to go. Might have to restart this again just so we can get some decent points out of this. At least get me some sponsors, yes. In this case, we might have to do a 2-stop race if the way things are going then. Yeah, definitely will have to do a restart of this. Hey, hang on. Hang on, there might be a chance we could get Judovic into the scoring board in this race. The Hornblatt's way ahead of her, 2 seconds in fact. Final lap, and Perez is down to 4, 3. Come on. And now let's restart this. That is not what I want for performance, really. Granted, I'm supposed to be relearning this, but this is a little too much because we can't do the 1-stop race anymore unless it's because of the weather. It's mostly because of the weather, really. We can't really... I'm not really good at switching stuff up for that since the weather doesn't last for long enough that I can keep the wheels on without having to worry much about the speed. Well, no other way around it. Let's just go ahead and step it up back to that spot. This time around, we'll try to do a proper 2-stop race. If we can't do that, I might have to practice this off stream first before we continue. I want to finish the season so we can knock out the ERS systems and finally go back to some raw racing. Softs for me rather. Aim to take practice. James, let's see it. 4 laps for 4 laps for the net. It lasts for Drudovish. So the main issue here is whether or not we can actually balance things out with tire wear and longevity. Because I'm honestly much more into keeping tires uh just keeping just one change per race. So that's what I'm practicing most or for the longest time. In fact, if the weather is not permitting that, we have to practice getting proper two-stop races here, where we can keep a decent spot or a decent pitch on the top three while preventing our opponents from getting any scores. Unrealistic, but it's a lofty enough ambition to keep tabs of. We can't really afford to be lenient over the last three races too, because we are looking for third or above. If we go below third before the season is over, I'm gonna have a really long discussion with the chair, and I don't want because he might kick me out, and that would be the end of this particular save's career. I don't think they have any complaints so far, which is good. Definitely needs a bit more. But the handling is very soft. What the heck is he talking about? Or is she talking about? Like, she probably wants a bit more stiffer handling. Goes down to the field lane at the fifth. Gonna be the stints for that now. Arielena is gonna be coming in pit lane now. Just in time for the rain to show up. Both race trim and medium tires are at max level, so that's much as she wants her handling to be a bit harder. Case. Over to see if we're gonna get some improvement this one. 1.18 is actually pretty fast for a medium. Although I think that's pretty close to what we got in the first attempt at this. Ooh. Everything seems good. Do we fix anything? As long as it's great, I think I'd prefer having the handling be just great instead of one excellent and two goods. I know it's middle of the road, but it's better and safer than nothing. I expected as much. Alia Leonard wanted harder hand, or softer hand in this case. When they say one thing, they want the opposite. And once again, it proves true in this one. Oh, practicing. Just right. Finish that fifth. Judovish might. Good, but not good today. Watson Industries, man. See, these names show up on practice a lot, but only Old Carlson has been consistent in the podium finishes. Beyond is usually mid-pack, if at all. Eligard also suffers from mid-game finish syndrome because he always ends up in the mid-pack as well. okay-ish from Watson Industries. I'll admit, Dragon Race Team has performed exceptionally well this season, but their finishes aren't exactly there. Probably one of their main issues. Like, they start off strong. Don't get me wrong. Even with the lower finishing, they start off really great. The problem is, okay-ish. What? Oh, wait a second. Yes, Dragon Race Team starts strong in the mid of the race, but as you can really see here, they haven't really finished much. Ramsey's the only one on the team to have any points at all. Silva Racing have struggled all season long, so has the former champions Garuda, which is a bit weird. I guess they can't really handle much with the ERS in the way as well. Things will probably be shaken up once the ERS has become part of the. We'll have to see that firsthand. Let's get the show on the road. Drogovic with a better acceleration start there. Perez getting left behind at 18th. Chu and Funker switching out quite quickly. And Glidden jumping off to third. A lot of dramatic changes right off the grid, even before the first corner of this race. Drogovic couldn't keep that to go. She's now down to 16. Perez having trouble keeping Panther away, and she's going to drop to 19. Up on top, she was now at first, Funker on second. Bozoncini returned to third after getting over Glidden, getting a 2-second gap now. And now both of our drivers have been overtaken by Ganther, who's climbing the ranks as of now 17. First corner coming up, you might have to switch them quick. Okay, let's wait until we get a straight. Oh, Drogovic pushing a little too much there. But that gave her some ground to get up to 14th, although she's probably going to drop down to 15th now, but Elegard ahead of her. Perez now down to 20th, failing to take advantage of that ERS push. Now just under the underpass, approaching the right-hand corner near the theater, in fact. Coming on to the last straight before the home hairpin, and Drogovic might lose her 15th place spot here. Salma managed to keep Cardenas behind her. Now we're starting lap speed, not exactly on a strong foot, but a decent spot to actually stay in the race. We're gonna have to leave our drivers a bit of a rush up. Maybe switch them into inters the moment they ask for it this time. It is still struggling to get past 20th. Drogovic having some trouble keeping Cardenas at bay. Now losing the chance to get one. She's down to 16th. Jenny just sneaking around there on the right. On the left, there's Beyond, was now taking over the 17th spot. Beyond is threatening to overtake on the outside there, but giving enough leeway for Drogovic to get some space. Reds jumps over to 17th, and Mazzantini, Funker, and Chu have switched out. Drogovic is now also up 13th because of that switch out. Having some rather daring outside overtakes on corner number 6 there. Now Drogovic having trouble dealing with Cardenas and Elegard. Ganther wisely staying in the back there, waiting for everybody else to tire themselves out. We're looking too hot from both of our drivers here. Start of lap 5, and Drudovic is having trouble keeping beyond a bit. Perez still at 17. Everybody else behind her is a little over 6 seconds behind at least. Now the rain is about to go away. Gonna have to switch to winter soon. Drudovic climbs up to 12, then goes down to 13th again. Cardenas jumps over both her and Eligard. Perez climbs up to 16. Beyond getting left behind, but now she has to worry about Ganther and Masmoncini. She went down Perez went down 17th again. Drudovic now losing some space between her and Eligard, as she's also going to have to deal with Jenny behind her. Now, there she goes, going down to 14th as Jenny jumps up ahead of her. Perez storming through on the start straight, but couldn't quite get past everybody. More Ramsey and Guida now fighting in first. The Silva Mello jumps up to 6 after a very tight fight with Deborani Neto. Drudovic going down 13th again as Cardenas jumps ahead of her. That's just the older drivers between Cardenas and Hornblood. Really desperate move there. What the heck was that? That was beyond jumping out of nowhere, snatching 20 laps remaining. Tires are still smoking. Still on the tick up. Now both of our drivers going for some ERS runs. Drudovic snatching 11th out of nowhere, getting past at the end. Perez jumping up to 13th. That's Drudovic on an inside overtake, getting ahead of Powell and beyond now. Perez goes up to 12th, getting ahead of Etienne. This might be switching out soon. We'll see how it goes from here. Still can't get past everybody. Perez has jumped up to 11th, trying to keep Beyond away from her, starting up top 8. That looks like Hal going for an ERS overtake. So it's Etienne, who's now in 9th. Hornblatt left dumbstruck there. Who's now stuck in 10th, probably giving Drudovic some light room for an outside overtake. Nope. Couldn't take advantage of that. Drudovic stays down to 11th now. Perez climbing up to 12th. Still a bit of a procession going into the underpass and into the theater corner. Theater or stadium, can't quite tell. Coming on the home corner now. 18 laps to go. Both of our drivers are now mid-pack. Hornblatt jumps up to 10th again. Weather might be switching out soon, so I'm gonna put Perez in first, as his strategy is fast. Drudovic will have to stay for a bit longer since she's got better tire handling. We'll handle the refueling at the end or in the second pit stop. Yeah, there you go later. I think Drudovic can handle staying on wets and then switch her over to mediums at lap 13. Drudovic jumps up to 9th. Getting ahead of Etienne here, trying to get past the Silva Mello and succeeding in getting some space in the process too. Climbing up the right, getting ahead of Hal is gonna have to fight for 7th here. And fight he will. Hal is now back at 7th. Drudovic down to 8th again. overtake on corner number 5 there. And now Judovic is in a good spot to get into the top 6. Let's see if she can... Oh no, Howe's coming up with an ERS overtake. Conclave trying to get away with her own ERS overtake. And despite initial traffic, she manages to get here. Let's see if we can actually get Judovic up to lap 13 without switching tires. Judovic now taking advantage of the position. She's up to 3rd. Ramsey and Lormore 5 seconds ahead of her, rather. Perez climbing up to 4th, using her ERs to get some speed. Still enough wetness on the track to keep her on the spot. We'll wait until we can get to the end of lap 13 and then Judovic will switch out. Perez can probably switch over with Judovic for this one. We're in the mediums now. Sector. Tires starting to get some wear now. Perez snatching up. Lap 15 is now, lap 12 is now in effect. Judovic, early at first, will have to concede to Perez here. She seems to have other ideas with the ERS right there. If we pit her now, there's a good chance we might get something still. Up. Get extra fuel. Parts are still green, thankfully. Keep her in fast, but that's going to take her 11 seconds to go. We'll have Perez switch out around lap 13 and get her fuel up. Uh-oh, Beyond has crashed. No overtaking in Sector 2. Really nasty crash there. Just outside of center. This is the center and the other one's the stadium. Fish coming in for a pit lane. Perez will have to wait until after the next run. Position is now 4th, 5th, 7th. No, it's probably 8th. She's dropped to 16th place as she's got too much fuel on her tank. Only one more run on inters and then we'll switch Perez out. She's only got an 8-second lead ahead of Hornblatt. That's not good. That's very not good. Judovic will have to rely on her ERS to keep her on top of things. But thankfully, there should be enough wetness to keep Perez in the inters for at least one more lap. And we'll switch her out just as lap 14 is ending. To mediums, options. 7 laps of fuel. Strategy, still fast. If Hornblatt doesn't switch out in the next lap, I'm probably going to cancel that. I don't know. I might prefer giving up some space for numbers here. If you're still at 16... Oh, too late. Perez has already gone for pits. Hornblatt's gonna snatch this. Now, Perez might be able... No, Lormore gets ahead of her now. Perez exits on 9th. Ramsey ahead of her. Judovic at 15, still struggling to get back into the race. Things are going to get really hectic here as Judovic is trying to keep Tammy away from her. Perez still stuck at 8th, Cardenas and Silvamello ahead of her. Judovic has Conclave in her sight, so it's Elegard. The bunker. Etienne, keep her in 15th. It's Perez in 4th now. Good chance to get back into the swing of things. 15 laps to go. No, it's 10 laps to go. Hopefully Perez can have enough power to get back into things. But Judovic needs to come in and provide support as soon as possible because Perez might lose her chance to get into the third team. Let's get it in. Carlson make a mistake. There's Etienne snatching 4th. Perez failing to get back into things after the stadium corner. Judovic drops to 11th at the chin. He gets ahead of her as well. 10 laps to go. Gansler looking to get into the run there as well. He's got everything to win here. He's still got 39% on his tires, and he's very, very smooth as a driver. With Perez down to 85, there's a good chance she might have to switch things up. But with Gansler, there's still a... Oh no, this is not good. Etienne is now trying to block Gansler and Perez from 4th spot. Perez about to lose her 5th spot. Gansler, yep. Trying to get back just before the underpass and the stadium corner, even snatching back her 4th spot from Etienne. Let's see if she can actually survive this. Nope, Etienne gonna go back with his own ERS push and end lap 18 at lap 17 at 4th. There's Gansler going for a push-up as well. Perez struggling to keep 4th. Now she's having a bit of a fight with both Gansler and Etienne. She might lose this. Judovic has gone past Conclave and Channy and jumped to 9th. Let's see if she can get back into things now. Perez, nope, she can't. Conclave gets ahead of her again. Perez now drops to... No, she's still in 5th, trying her desperate best to keep Gansler away. Grabbing some speed just before the home straight. Into the beachhead and coming for the home corner. Let's see if she can get there. How much more? No, Gansler's at 22. There's a good chance she can keep Gansler away for at least one more lap. And maybe keep him down in the mid-packs, dropping his points a bit more. But we have to worry about Elegard, who is also in 4th now. And could threaten our position in 1st. I might settle for 2nd on the team standings just so I don't have to worry about the dilemma of moving up. Yep, we're seeing some changes now as far as tires are concerned. Gansler and Etienne looking to go into the pit lane. Judovic climbs up to 8th. We'll have to push her tires a bit more though. She's now down to 57%. She switched tires a little late. Hopefully she'll have enough in the tank to keep those tires rolling for next 7 laps. Or more. Up ahead. Perez still at 64%. Can she keep these tires rolling up until the end of the race? That's Elegard looking right at her, but Elegard is down to 28% on his tires. Judovic using DRS a little too early, but somehow still getting ahead of Ramsey. Gormore still at a decent spot, but he will have to change sooner or later. She will have to change sooner or later. The 35% marker is anything to go by. Hang on. Something real quick. There. Yep, that's Ramsey coming for... No, that's Elegard coming for a pit change. Judovic even got a double jump over there. Now she's up to 4th. Perez looking a little close here. 55% on her tires. 6 laps to go, rather. Judovic having trouble getting past Ramsey. Gansler is climbing up the ranks again. He's up at 13th. Come on. How much more does Lormore have? She's still got 27% on her tires. I might have to push the tires of our drivers now. Judovic struggling to get past Ramsey still, but Ramsey might have to switch out at this rate. How much more tires does he have? He's got 27. Five laps to go. Perez now struggling with tire wear. Ramsey has to go down as Judovic gets ahead of him. Both of our drivers now in the sponsor seat. It's just Lormore. But we need to balance things out for Perez because she's having issues with her tires already. Ramsey is just a second behind Judovic, though. Going to be a real problem for the Swede. She's now down to 36% on her tires with 5 laps to go. But Ramsey, unfortunately, will now have to hold out for a pit change as his tires have gone excessively bad. Lormore still looking for... Oh, no, never mind. Lormore is now coming in for a pit crew change. Perez will have a chance to snatch a lead here and probably get some space out as well. Let's see if she can handle that. 4 laps to go. Gonna cut down on that for now. I just need both of our drivers to at least be in the sponsor objective. I'm not too into scoring the lead for now. That's Carlson at 15 seconds behind Judovic. Judovic now down to 27% on her tires. We're seeing quite a bit of tire wear on her end. 3 laps to go. Judovic has to keep her tires intact. It's going to be a tough one. I might have to push her a bit more just to keep her in the running. Stop complaining about the tire wear, Dan. Dang it! Should have some space here. Carlson still 15 seconds behind. We still got 2 laps to go, and Judovic now down to 15% on her tires. Can she handle this, though? Carlson closing in, 14 seconds, 14.5, 14.4. Just a bit more, and Carlson might be actually able to get out of this. Now, Judovic has to survive the next lap. We have to get her into a 1-2. 14 seconds. A bit more growth should be good. But we're trying to be as safe as possible with both of our drivers here. 15 seconds ahead of Carlson now. What happened there? Oh, Carlson also is having trouble with tires. Let's get Perez as far away from both of both Carlson and Judovic spot. Carlson closing in, 13.8. 13.9. 14. She's slowing down even worse than Judovic now. Going into super overtake mode now. And this might be one of the best redemption arcs we've had. It's a 1-2 for Watson Industries and Moscow, the Black Sea today. Absolutely great run from the team. One hell of a run back from the disaster that was Milan. And that would definitely make a lot of Watson Industries fans happy in the stands tonight. Decisive victory over Carlson, too. It's 14 seconds behind. He managed to luck out on that. Ganser will have to settle for 8th place, meaning he doesn't get any points at all, and we managed to get significant points over Firebird, giving our team a good, some good elbow room in the standings, though I'm not too sure how that's going to translate for the driver standings. Let's look at it again. Some time, too. I didn't finish stuff up, so I'm probably going to have to call it in early. We lucked out with our tire changes, really. Keeping Perez, or putting Perez in inters, allowed her to gain some speed during the drier parts of the race, while Djurdjevic, with her better tire handling, managed to keep the wets in place long enough to switch over to mediums. And because of that, she managed to stay in the fight for longer with just one run. Perez, thankfully, needed only a few tire changes at the end there and managed to keep it up on top for the run. Really close run there. Hopefully we won't suffer from any surprise. Rule breaks. Djurdjevic even scores fastest lap bonus at the end, giving her extra 2 points and giving us even more elbow room. It's 10 and 8. Very, very satisfying ending there in the Black Sea. I am very happy about the performance of our drivers today. Fortunately, Beyond will not be. That was a really bad crash in the middle of the race there, putting a bit of a dampener on Vixala's own podium finish with her teammate Carlson. His teammate Carlson. Other stuff here. As expected, Ramsey couldn't quite finish strongly, and he's down to 10th. His oft-broken teammate Mazzoncini, meanwhile, is stuck in the back at 18th. Not exactly happy with that finish, I can tell. Ozu, meanwhile, is a bit of a split-up. Even Etienne was just a bit short. A second behind Rana de Vorani Netto to get into the scorers table, while his, rather her, the other guy, his teammate Victoria Picerni, starting off strong, but because of some mistakes in the tire replacements, she's now down to 13th. Couldn't quite finish strongly on that one. Aranes also stuck in mid-pack here, finishing 11th, and her teammate Anderson de Silva Melo dropping down to a staggering 15 spot finish. Elegard is the only guy on the scoreboard for Firebird, jumping up to 5th, while Ganser had to sell for 8th because of the bad timing on his tire changes. That 1-2, very good finish, and the veteran Meline Perez still showing that she's still got some stuff to go and show the younger drivers. While Djurdjevic definitely is working up to get there consistently. Because of that jump, Perez is now up to 46, or up to second with 46 points, just 1 point behind Gansler. Djurdjevic down to 4th with 45 points because Perez got ahead of her. Carlson drops down to 3rd, and Elegard is still stuck at 5th. Oh. Let's see how the others change. Devorani Neto, despite that rough finish, managed to jump up to 8th. While Vian, because of that crash, drops down to 9th. So it's mostly because of a DNF, which is how Devorani Neto jumps up in places. Four more managing to score some points got her into 10th, while Howe, Etienne, Silva Mello, and Ramsey and Concliffe all went down a place each. And struggling, Gilmore, Funker, and Nick Chu are still at the bottom of the table with no points alongside Glidden and Mazzoncini. Quite a rough finish for some of these veterans. Now we managed to score an excellent gap of 21 points ahead of Firebird. If we can keep this for the next season or the next two races, we could even manage to finish with a Drivers' Championship at the same time. Okay, that's a little too hard. Haters out in force again, mostly because they didn't like the 1-2 finish. And Hornblack complaining about lack of investment for the team drives. For the team cars at Garuda now, which is kind of weird because they were one of the big spenders early in the game. Incident packed is an understatement. There was a lot of close counters. Mazzoncini did run out on an ran wide at the first corner, for instance. And there's also house crash, but there's a couple of really close calls, almost leading to crashes there. Watson's definitely going to be happy about that. And with that happy note, I think we can call it in for the night. But first, let me check my emails. Team emails, that is. Let's see. Oh, good jumps. Overtaking consistency are over a 20, which is very, very good. Assumption Ariolene actually got a boost. Excellent boost, in fact, for overtaking. And marketability still not moving. The chairman is happy, so I guess that's good. And then even got sponsorship money. Very, very happy about that. Meanwhile, in the World Motorsport Championship, Kitano Sport did finish up on top, but Windsor Racing have managed to snatch the rest of the podium. But as things are looking now, Steinman might be able to hold on to their lead with veteran Naito on top, unless by some magic Makarova manages to finish the next two races in 20th or in first. It's going to be a bit of a tough race to look into. At least these guys have all have points. Although Chariot's CRN isn't exactly happy with just 3 after 13 stages. Team-wise, Steinman is definitely on top. Definitely going to have a hard time. Or rather, they pretty much have it in the bag. Windsor, despite getting impressive wins, have no chance to get past Steinman. Scuderia Rossini can't really have anything to say as they're down to third with 49 points. Very low chance of actually getting within striking distance of Steinman now. Meanwhile, in the Asia Pacific Super Cup, Kirov dominates the podium with Ruiz Motorsport rounding up 3. Bruna Buenosardo on top again, also leading in the driver standings, while her teammate Ricky Quiles, is at Quiles, right? At second with 55 points. The closest to answering against Team Kirov's rather dominance of the season. Kruger Motorsports Pottinen, but that's a very distant third with 37 points to go. Kruger can't even only got within half of Team Kirov's overall score right now. Kirov definitely dominating there with 120 points of their name. Even though the season is definitely in the bag. Of course, there's our run in the Black Sea. And they're still on top, but Perez can probably snatch that lead in the next races. Now, let's look at those mailboxes before we call it in for the night. Okay, let's look at the mail. 40% negative 34. Good thing it's just 12 hours. That's not good. That's not too bad. Lean will be really happy about that. We actually broke our previous record, which is pretty nice, and there was no mistake. But might have we might have to replace some crew members in the pit crew at this rate. See who's in the scout list. Ooh, good for tires, front jacks, rear jacks, refueling, but fixing's awful. State chance 0.4, but he's the most, and he's also expensive. He's only got 75 stamina. Dang it. Okay, Minola could probably be useful for refueling and fixing. And he's got 98 stamina. No error chance. But man, there's still too many of them. Okay, I think we can just reject some of these guys. Good for reject. Sorry, Komatsu. Probably not for now. And as much as I'd like to keep Fujimitsu because he's got good numbers for tires and front jack, his mistake chance and his low stamina can be a bit of a problem. So I'm gonna have to reject him as well. These three will be okay. Hopefully, they're going to be available until at least some of these guys finish off their contract with us. Stamina is going to be a problem. I guess that's it for now. How long? Until 3 more weeks until the staff center is complete. Next race is going to be a rainy Rio de Janeiro run by the looks of it. But, I think we can manage with that. And I guess with that excellent finish at the Black Sea, this would be a good time for me to call it in for the night. Thank you so much for joining in. Sorry that it was just one stage for now. It has been quite a while since I last managed the team, and I'm still trying to relearn a lot of the stuff I already know. It is quite difficult to balance a lot of things or a lot of stuff you need to use when you've got a lot of titles to juggle, so to speak. Hopefully, once we continue this and finish off this season, things will become much smoother and we'll have an easier time getting up back into the top or into the top flight of global open wheel racing. Hopefully, you'll also be with us there for the next few stages. For the time being, though, if you got any complaints or valid reactions about the stream tonight, I'd be grateful if you can drop me a line on my Twitter or my Pixiv. If you got a hankering for older streams that have expired here on Twitch, or you just want to see the primary simulstream channel we're using, you can always check the VOD archive linked in the About tab of my profile page. And well, it is considered the simulstream channel now, but a lot of the older VODs for the Twitch stream are there. It's searchable on YouTube under the same channel name. That's Lurk at Work. Work with a U instead of an O. By the way, if you're currently checking the VOD, thanks for tuning in. Sorry that it was just a single stage with multiple restarts. There were a lot of times that I had to fumble and learn things that I already did to win back in the day, but that is the usual. A lot of the gears still need to be re-oiled, so to speak. Maybe next time when you join us back in for this one, things will be a bit more enjoyable to watch. But if this stream isn't up to your standards, there's still probably something in the list of VODs out here that might be much more interesting for you. I hope you browse around and check that out. Speaking of the channels, if you got a friend who might be interested in the stuff I stream or who just wants to complain about PNG streamers in general, I would be really grateful if you can share my channels with them. Twitch.tv/lurk at work and lurk at work on YouTube. Once again, that's work with a U instead of an O. Oh, that's all from me for now. Lurk at work is unfortunately RTB at an early time. There are some stuff I still need to finish, so I have to focus on those. If you are on Twitch and still in the mood for some exciting stuff, though, I can send you over to Audio Tip. He's doing a run of this new prop hunt clone making the rounds online. That might be more up your alley. But if you are heading out for the night, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks again for watching. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Good night for those who are heading out, and stand by for those who are about to be sent